So we're back now to the problem that we're trying to solve, that these objects are not responding instantaneously, and we said we need to do something for them to do that. And what we will do is we will write a Visual Basic program. This will be our first line of Visual Basic. That's why they're called one-liners. Behind each of these little controls, they are Visual Basic objects. If you double-click on any of them, and you will end up double-clicking on each of them. So I'm double-clicking on the text box, click. You will notice that what Visual Basic did, it opened a new window, and it says here text box height of building AVW, and it says private. We didn't have this word before. We have a sub and an end sub as we did in macro. The private here has nothing to do with a military rank of private, sergeant, or general. This is like private property, and it means that this particular subroutine that we're going to write is only available when the user form, the dialog box, is active. No other program can actually reach into this without activating first the dialog box. Now, don't follow what I'm doing, just watch right now. By default, the name of the subroutine that we're writing is the name of the text box, in my case text box height of building or age building AVW, followed by an underscore and change. This is when we decide, or Excel decided, that what we want to do is to run the subroutine whenever there's a change in the value of this text box. And there are other possibilities here. For instance, when we double click on that text box, or when we press enter, on where we leave it. The one that is most interesting is the mouse up. You will start noticing that anything we do in Windows actually happens on mouse up. For instance, if I'm going back to my user form and I try to activate it, as we saw here with the button, it says run the user form. If I click on it, nothing really happens yet. I click the button and I hold it down. If I move away and release the button, nothing happens. The form has not been run or activated. It only happens, and try it with me, when I click and then I release the button just above, release the mouse just above that button. So now I'm releasing it, and that's when I moved over. Going back to understand what we're doing, click will take me to the same place. Unfortunately, and it's not by mistake, I have double clicked on the user form, so it created a new subroutine saying, when you click on the user form, what do you want to happen? And I don't want anything to happen, so I can either leave it here because nothing will happen, or safely delete this this routine or subroutine because I clicked on it by mistake. I can close this window anytime I want and then go back on my text box, the text box height of building, click, will take me exactly to that subroutine that has been created first. To make it easier to read, we start in the subroutines, we start every line with a tab. We intend them so that we see where it starts and where it ends. That way it's easy to see that you're not actually inserting any copy and paste anywhere else. Now the subroutine that we're gonna use, you need to learn it from somewhere, so I'm helping you out here. If you go to today's announcement, and you will follow the VBA notes at the end of the announcements here under support. I open it in a new window. We will talk about the auto open a little later. The one that we're interested in is the one that says edit box, and we have here the name of the macro, and it says range, name of range like height of building, dot value equals name of edit box that dot value. You can come back to this. I will try to explain it to you after I write it down in Visual Basic so that you can understand how it works. You're always welcome to to come back to this. You have it in the hyperlink here under VBA notes if you want to revisit it. So I'm back into Visual Basic, and if you remember, the first thing that I said there was range. Well, there's a little trick. If you hold down the control button and press the space bar, then Visual Basic starts telling you all the different commands that you can give at that moment to Visual Basic. And the name that I want is range. You can see it already appearing as I typed R. Notice how they have different shape in front of them. This little flying box means that that is actually an action. It's like another subroutine or a function or something. This here, it's a window with a finger pointing to it, and that means that this is actually an object, and the object is a range or a property of the object. So it's range. And now, if you notice in the syntax, we have open parenthesis and quote marks. So open parenthesis and quote marks. The reason I have, and this now works like a function in Excel as I showed last time, the reason we have the range in quote marks is that anything that is not in quote marks, it is treated as a variable. So it would look at what is written in that variable that I have. Well, the quote mark, the range that I want to use, right, is this one here, height of building. I can copy it either from Excel, I can copy it from the control source, and that's probably the best, the control source of my object. Copy, it's exactly the same because I use the same, and I'm going to paste it, close parenthesis, close quote mark, close parenthesis, dot, and now it's a different thing. So what do you want to do with this range? And again, everything that Excel knows about ranges in general is written over here. What I want is its value. So I clicked V and immediately value comes up. Click, equals. And now it's actually, if you look at the Visual Basic here, it is the name of the edit box. So it's the name of this very edit box that I'm working on. It's going to be a text box. I can either copy its name from here, or I can do again control space bar, start typing text box. And as I did that, you notice that the text box the name of the text box shows up here. This is the property. This here underneath, which is the flying box, text box title building AV change, that is actually the subroutine that I'm working on. It's already recognized by Visual Basic as a valid subroutine. So I'm going to select this time the value from here, click, and then dot value again. We have written our first Visual Basic line. Let's read it together. Remember that it goes from the back to the front, and it says take the value. So when there's a change, when there's a change in the value of this text box, that's the text box building change, take the value that is in the text box and put it as a value in the range height of building AVW. Well, if it's true, then it should start working here. So I'm going to run it. And you notice that this time, if I move it away, the moment I will delete the number 5, I put a backspace on 5, number 2 changes there. I still have not, in my homework, dealt with the errors. Yours should not give any error. And I put number 22 there, and I type in the 2, that takes care of it. If I press the button, let's say upwards again, 1, 2, 3, again nothing happens because there is no one-liner behind the spinner. I click out, that is happening. So now I will need to add the one-liner to the spinner. And I can either close this window, or if I didn't close it, I can just double click on the spinner, click, and that will add yet another one of those subroutines. The subroutine here is going to be similar. I recommend not to copy and paste because you will get easily uh, confused if you just copy the same one and then change, because that's all it is. We keep the range and we change the object from text box to the spin button. All the subroutines in this area, which is the private area of our text box, are set in alphabetic order. So spin is behind text, and then spin button underscore A is going to be before spin button underscore age. Tab. Now, since I'm on the spin button, remember that what I'm really interested in here is the control source. So I'm copying the control source because I'm going to need it. And I'm going to start, I did a tab first, and I'm going to do the control tab and say range. Click, click, open parenthesis, open quote mark, paste, close value, equals, I take the name of the spin button that I am, and I'm on the spin button because I double clicked on it, so the spin button is selected, hence conveniently its property is there. And I didn't copy, so it's Control C, Control V dot value. And I'm done with my second liner, one-liner. So this means that when I will activate my control source, my dialog box, this time, let's try again. I will take it down to 2. When I start clicking up, you notice that it continues from there. If for some reason this is not happening, it means that you are missing the one-liner behind your control. For the next time we meet, you will have to have 6 of these. I only created 1 fully and 2 partially. You will have the height of building, the height of payload, the depth of lead, the safety clearance, the payload, and the rigging all set together. And they will all be working with the one liner in Visual Basic. You will also have the DOM labels for distance from crane to building, radius of lifting, length of boom, maximum allowable payload, any indication if the lift is possible or not over here, but nothing next to them. Don't use the text boxes as outputs because they will wipe out. I will show this next time. They will actually wipe out your link to the formula the moment you use them the first time.